What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a while. It's been a week. Done a lot in that time. I've moved in to a brand new apartment. Got my ring light set up, looking a little bit more professional here. Missed everyone out there. Hope everyone's been doing well. My father was in the hospital. He's out. He's doing good. So, all good news there. I taught some kids today, taught some kids chess. Some good news on that front as well. I think Davis and I are probably going to be able to rip a show on Wednesdays still. Going to be doing night streams, but, get out from the school pretty early. Anyone who subscribes to beatbestball.com, going to have a ranking update come Wednesday. We've had a lot of news crank out since I've last streamed. Really been streaming most weekdays and haven't gotten to that. So let's run through some news and give you some takes there. First, brother, yeah, come on now. You way below these guys. The champ is back. Thank you, sir. Night streams, you're excited? So let's get to the NFL news. Got to scroll a bit since we've last. I don't think we even talked since Anthony Richardson shoulder is hurt. Okay, let's start there. We're going to go in order. Anthony Richardson, hurt shoulder. I mean, I already had Richardson about 10 to 20 spots below his ADP, which was meant to indicate I'm not comfortable taking him. In general, we don't want to be gambling zeros at quarterback, right? You can gamble a zero at a running back, and look, you hit on a Kyron Williams, it's all worth it. What do you got to even have happen at quarterback to make it worth it? The guy's got to be Jaden Daniels. The guy's got to be Lamar and Josh Allen all in one, right? Like, the point is, even if you're right at quarterback and you're taking on risk late, what's the guy going to get you? 20 points, 22 points, It's not enough to win a tournament by itself where, I don't know, Ty Johnson of the Bills, if everyone is hurt for the Bills and it's just the Ty Johnson show, you could be the only one in the contest that has him. So Daniel Jones, you can draft with a little bit more confidence. Richardson, a little bit less confidence. Probably should just switch their ADPs. I think that's what I'll do on my ranking update. I think it's totally defendable and maybe even good to just pair Jones with Richardson. Something like a Justin Fields, Richardson, Daniel Jones team. That seems like a team pretty strong at quarterback. You get the rushing of Fields, you get the rushing of Jones/Richardson. You only really get screwed when they get benched midway through a game. That's what you don't want, because then you get 10 points from one, 10 points from the other. That's a disaster. So I wouldn't be going gun-ho on Daniel Jones. I wouldn't be going gun-ho on Anthony Richardson unless that's the edge you want to take. Aaron Rodgers took the moment of Elon and Trump feuding on Twitter to sign with the Steelers. Now, I always, as I said on stream, I always assumed Rodgers was going to the Steelers. It was very logical. I actually have optimism for Rodgers because if you remember, so many people just look at last year. And yeah, last year, it wasn't good, folks. But what happened is he tore his Achilles against the Bills week 1. And if you remember, people weren't really even expecting him to be ready week 1 of the following year, yet he was. And what you can tell yourself there is maybe a full year removed from the Achilles, maybe he's got another year left. So I actually think Rodgers, he obviously has risk in like infinite ways. He could decide he wants to be a podcast host. He could decide he wants to go into politics. He could get benched. The team could start hating him. Things could go bad, right? But I actually have some optimism for him there. He's probably a better click than Tyler Shuck. He's probably a better click than Jackson Dart. Again, not going to be a huge part of my portfolio, but I like DK Metcalf, always have. So Rodgers, Pretty interesting. Nick Chubb has signed with the Texans, and this comes with a couple items. Number one, some people are saying Joe Mixon is in a walking boot. Some people are saying he's not. So we're going to have to wait a little bit there. I always thought Joe Mixon was kind of like, I prefer Chuba Hubbard to Joe Mixon, probably just straight up because Chuba's young. Yeah, you got risk with Rico there. But, the Texans, they fired their OC because he was running the ball too much. And so I don't think Nick Chubb was a 0 last year, folks. Like, we have to kind of just, last year, Nick Chubb was terrible. Okay. He's been a historically great runner, but he was terrible last year. Maybe a full year removed, maybe he'll be good. I kind of doubt it. Maybe it's a hedge for Mixon. It's kind of bad if like Nick Chubb's getting the goal line work. I am not taking Chubb. I'm not going to be like going gung-ho on Chubb, right? Anyone who is Chubb in the 210s, oh no, Chubb goes to the 190s, like who cares, right? Mixon, I also don't think he should drop too much, but I got to research the ankle a little bit more. It's early, folks. It's June 9th today, right? So we got a lot of time before football even kicks off. We got a lot more time until week 17. So even if Joe Mixon's leg was broken, if he was fully healthy week 17, he's fine. NFL news other than that. I think that is the main news. We're getting, crazy beat reporter speculation about, pieces of the Patriots. This guy who I learned about the other week, Efton Chisholm III. I don't know. Let's get to some of these comments. Stop watching Monday Night Raw. Hell yeah, brother. Are you specifically moving Warren and Freiermuth up in rankings? I think both of them should get a bump. I was pretty into both of them already. And yeah, I think it's logical to think that they're both going to benefit from Rodgers being there. The only thing with Freiermuth is, Rodgers, he could bring in Alan Lazard. Amari Cooper could get there. Keenan Allen could get there. I don't think the Jonnu Smith trade is going to happen, but even that could happen. So I wouldn't go too over your skis there. I'm surprised you're Rodgers over Dart and Shuck. I feel like it seems at least with the rookies, they have a better chance of playing during the playoffs, right? Well, it depends what you need, right? Like if I have Chris Olave, I'm going to want Shuck, right? If I have Malik Neighbors, I'm probably going to want Dart. If I need a quarterback to give me points week 1, I'm going to want Shuck or Rodgers, and Rodgers is the safest because even Shuck, it could be Spencer Rattler. Dart, I personally think he's going to start pretty soon. The Giants' schedule is brutal, but you never know. It could be week 10 and you're not getting any points, and that's kind of tough, right? But yeah, if you're just going to say, hey, the only thing that matters is the playoffs, yeah, Dart is my favorite of that group, right? But depends what you need for your team. All right. So I haven't been doing much drafts. Oh, James Cook news. Adam Schefter speculated that James Cook would like sit out a lot of the season. This holdout stuff, it's been in the news. I personally think this is a nothing burger for Cook. Another Bill source even today said that he's going to be at mandatory minicamp camp. So Cook has no leverage. If these are the types of dips you want to pounce on. If James Cook drops 20 spots in the draft because of an Adam Schefter quote, which could be from an agent or team, dude, scoop, right? What other nonsensical news are we getting? Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in a big way. I snuck in a BBM. I wanted to try to get in an organic draft. And guess what? We pulled the 101, folks. This is a 30-seconder. I've been running a little dry. Let's check out the Chase exposure. Of course, Chase is our only option at the 101. Joe Burrow's been falling, so maybe we'll try to push it. Let me get my bearings. What am I looking for? Best Ball Mania, exposure, wide receiver, $25, apply, Chase. 13% Chase. So we're running good and we're running better. Future stream idea. Post a tweet saying what's your favorite BBM team drafted so far and browse them on stream. That's a good idea. I'm going to start doing some recorded videos. Definitely going to get a recorded video of. Let's get a little zoom, guys. I'm so far away. Looking through my past DK ones. Jamar Chase. Let's go, baby. One of these years, the 101 is just going to be the player you need. I don't really like what could happen this year to not make Jamar Chase the consensus 101 again next year. Here's some things that could happen. Number one, like one of these young wide receivers like Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, Nico, like if they just have like 2,000 yards, 15 touchdowns, and Chase has 400 less yards, okay, maybe they'll be the 101. Like we're just going to slot someone in. Number two, if Ashton Jeanty goes for 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns, okay, he'll be the 101. If Joe Burrow gets hurt, Chase is not going to be the 101. So there are, if Jahmyr Gibbs goes scorched earth on the world, he could be the 101. But like, he should be a pretty stable 101 mix at least for long. Like, it is insane that he fell to the 112 at times last year. Man, how bad were people? My God. Yeah, I mean, but this is what it's going to take, I guess. And it's like, come on now. Parker Washington wins the cheerful crown. My God, man. I think you've Parker Washington bags are down bad, man. Dione Brown seems to be winning there. Yeah, I'm not budging on my Gibbs ranking, right? Like, I think the upside of Gibbs is astronomical. I'm going to take Bijan at times over him just because I will get 0 Bijan otherwise, but I just think Gibbs is a better click than Bijan. So that's what I'll be doing mostly. Yes, except Joe Burrow is like 5 tiers better than Ben Roethlisberger. He just is. As far as like a fantasy and real life quarterback. Okay. I mean, what's your definition of best wide receiver? I think Justin Jefferson is most consistent. He doesn't have the upside of Jamar Chase. He just doesn't have the ability, right? Like in fantasy specifically, players who can catch a 5-yard pass and turn it into a touchdown is very, like, they can just do it by themselves. So yards after catch is very valuable. That's not Jefferson's bag. It's not, right? Jefferson, an elite route runner, probably the best in the game. Good for him. He still can't just catch a little screen and go 80 yards to the house, right? Can't do that. Has nothing to do with the quarterback. Just it's not his skill set. Obviously he's fast, he's smooth, he's all of that. He's a great catcher of the football, he's a great route runner. Maybe with better quarterback play, he could have a great year, but he still doesn't have that ability again to just house a 5-yard pass. Obviously the gap's not that large. I mean, he goes at the 103, right? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Help me out, folks. Appreciate you. Check out beatbasketball.com. Jettis is quarterback proof. I wouldn't say Chase is. Well, I mean, I think you're wrong there. You can just go back and look at how Jamar Chase did with whoever their quarterbacks they had when Burrow got hurt. Did pretty good. Liam, what's your opinion on Blake Corum and Jarquez Hunter being there at the last 2 rounds? If Kyron goes down, one could be a league winner. Don't disagree with you, Ryan. Even some risk that Kyron gets benched. Many such cases, though, right? Let's run through some backups that are not really being drafted that much. Unless you think Justice Hill is going to carry the football 25 times a game, Derrick Henry's backup is not being drafted. Unless Ashton Jeanty, we do not draft his backup. Bucky Irving, we could be drafting the wrong backup. It could be Sean Tucker. Achane, we draft his backup very late. Jonathan Taylor, we don't really draft his backup, right? Chase Brown, we don't really draft his backup. So this is something the market does a lot. They don't really draft the backups of some of these expensive running backs. And I think it's a lot of upside if these happen. I feel like Keaton is about to get drafted a lot more. People be watching my streams, man. I like Mitchell. Could go bad, but I like it. Okay, what to do? I do think I'm going to do the Trey McBride thing. I know it's popular, but like the Bengals were like the worst defense in the NFL against the tight end last year. Rice is tempting. Chase Brown is tempting. Devontae Adams, I don't have that much of. I want to get more of him. I think we're just going to do... Let's see, how are these people drafting? Everyone's drafting normal. Let's do Chase Brown this time. The double Bengals and the bring back. I'm generally into the year 2 Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's like being like unfairly attacked. He's not in the best situation in the world, but yeah, I mean the muscles, whatever. I don't know. Maybe he'll be able to box people out better. But yeah, he's I want to. It is a little rich, right? It's like, okay, Ladd we know is a star. Marvin is kind of in that tier where we're just like sticking some guys here. Marvin, Garrett Wilson, Terry. But yeah, generally I want to be like, how sick would you feel if year 2 Marvin Harrison Jr. is just like one of the best wide receivers in football and you let the rookie year get to you? I think Higgins going around 2 is sure sign Burrow won't get to you. It doesn't bother me on the Burrow thing, right? Like I'm not going to take Burrow at the 4 or 5 turn in this draft just because I've been seeing so many posts of people getting him late. So why not? Welcome him. Derrick Henry is being put in an Adam Sandler movie if he hits 2K yards. Henry going to get like 30 rushes a game. Yeah, I don't think this should affect how we draft, but I did see that. Does knowing that your stack is popular affect what you will do in at some later point now to get unique? Pepperoni, brother. You got to type this clearer next time. I'm just kidding. Or do you not care much due to pod dynamics? I don't care. Like, I don't care too much. I'm trying to get unique every single team I do in general, right? It depends. And like, I don't think this is that chalky of a start. Chase and McBride might be, but I don't think I mean, by both ADP, Chase Brown's ADP is 29. So, and also like most people just don't want to do the same team thing. Chase Brown over Josh Jacobs. Like there's a lot of things that make this team a little bit unique already, right? So I don't think this is some like mega duped start. What's up? Become a YouTube member like Connor Kelly. BBMDB, I think it might be down. You can't check it out from this year, but last year you can. I've done the start. Yeah, but okay, that doesn't bother me, Blake, right? Like, there's almost no combination of first round players that you're gonna like. Okay, you can make a unique combo, right? That you might be purely unique, and I'm going to do stuff like this. Like, you go Bucky and T Higgins at the 1-2 turn. Boom, it's just you, folks. It's just you. Now, people are going to have that at the 2-3. So maybe a better example is you go Bucky and AJ Brown at the 1-2 turn. You go Bucky and Brock Bowers. Like, you pull up one of these guys, you can get pretty unique pretty quick. Keep your eye on the one hole, sir. I have 155 of these starts. Just kidding. Are you more into DJ Moore in the 4th or year 2 Rome in the 6th? I've not been taking Moore a lot, and I don't take as much Rome either. I want to start getting some of those guys, though. I definitely don't want to have a bear fade. It is just kind of like, it's probably just like the decision is tough. DJ Moore almost made it back around to us, by the way. All right. I like Flowers still. And what is this, like a super wide receiver heavy draft? Not really. It's just all the wide receivers are gone. So we're going to do Flowers. Kittle, would you be getting a little spicy? The double elite tight end? Why not, folks? I did a lot previous years. McBride, Mr. Target. Kittle, Mr. Huge Upside. Cortland Sutton, I think I'll have like a full fade on. Just don't like the player. Not afraid of his upside. Don't like his week 17 matchup. Would you still prioritize uniqueness as a lower volume drafter? Absolutely, Brock, right? Like, if you're only doing 5 teams, why would you want to be duped with thousands of other teams? I've done this start. Thoughts on Jacoby Myers? Better pick in PPR. Not a guy I draft a ton of. Him and like Shakir, they seem a little expensive. I like Shakir better, but he's fine to mix in. I mean, other people like Cortland Sutton. My next updated rankings, I might I've been banking in the market somewhat. I might stop doing that for some players. Cortland Sutton is one I have like just 20 spots below his ADP. Can make an argument that Kittle was the highest scoring pass catcher available there. I mean, yes, the 49ers pieces all seem like great bets, right? Like, we were taking Ayuk and Debo in the second round last year. Now the first 49er pass catcher is Kittle. And then the wide receivers all go late. But this argument by itself doesn't do it, right? Because you have to start 3 wide receivers each week. You only have to start 1 tight end a week. So even if Kittle outscores Pickens by 20 points or 30 points, Pickens might be the better advance rate piece, just because, if I'm slotting in a crappy wide receiver due to the extra capital at tight end, it's just hard to advance, right? So I got to hit some wide receiver values later in this draft to make this work. But also, like the double elite tight end, obviously it's going to be unique. I do like this pairing. And yeah, okay, if Kittle scores 40, boom, that's what you'll need. Who's winning the NBA Finals? Daniel, I don't even know the teams in there. I literally am a football guy. I like some golf somewhat too. I mean, wasn't like 5 to 6 guys were not hitting your lineup from the Lions the same weeks, but in general, what you're looking for there is a statue quarterback. So Jared Goff, makes sense. He doesn't rush. So you don't want like the Bills are not going to give you this because Josh Allen's going to rush. Lamar is going to rush, right? So you're not going to get that. But teams like the Lions with the statue quarterback. So like if Michael Penix is super good, he could be it. Tua, if he stays healthy, could be something there. And you don't want a condensed offense either for that. If Bryce Young is like really good. Thank you, sir. Doing good, C Money. Appreciate you folks being here. Rome goes, so don't have to worry about any week 17 correlation there. Let's check. This is a random 30-second one. When I joined this lobby, there was only one spot left. Wow, Travion Henderson, pretty big slide. I don't have that much. I would have been interested there. Okay, Judy makes a lot of sense. It's kind of tempting to do the double Browns. But also, I'm kind of tempted to get another wide receiver because we only have 2. So let's take Judy. Like Reed with the flowers is fun. Ayuk, Pearsall, they're fun. Shakir, a little bit unique. I think we'll go Reed, man. I love Jaden Reed. I personally like players who can just score 30 points in a week. I don't know why the best ball market does not. But yeah, give me Jaden Reed. We got some week 17 correlation. We have 4 wide receivers now, so makes the double elite tight end feel better when you got, conceivably, we have 4 number 1 wide receivers on their own offenses, right? I don't think anyone's saying Judy's not the number 1 on his team. I don't think anyone's saying Flowers is not the number 1 on his team. Jaden Reed seems to be a coin flip between him and Matthew Golden. Going to be doing a lot of night streams for June. Some day ones too. Vele in the 18th is the best Broncos wide receiver to draft this year. I drafted him in the 20th one time on Drafters. Do we think Dalton Kincaid bounces back to at least a top 10 tight end? Steve, it's definitely in the range of outcomes. I'm going to have a pretty big bag on Kincaid. If you're worried about his knee, you might not want to do it. But yeah, I just think it's a pretty good bet in general. And the Bills didn't change anything. So it's like someone's probably going to break out as a pass catcher between him and Keon. Maybe Khalil Shakir takes an even bigger step. And, I don't know, Elijah Moore back from the dead, something like that could happen as well. Yeah, man. Could see Zay scoring a lot more touchdowns this year. Where do I have Tet? I have Tet right next to Travis Hunter. So pretty high on both. I don't know. Palmer, I think it's Palmer. Moore's getting a lot of buzz, but you would expect that in spring. Does the site have playoff schedule rankings? It has the playoff schedule. I'm going to have some. We got a lot of articles coming down the pipe, Daniel. Been in the middle of a move, so got a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. But yeah, I'm going to have something on the. I got like 15 articles. I'm like, I got to get this out. So, but we will have something on that. Well, I think you would assume Josh Palmer is kind of filling in that Gabe Davis role, Mac Hollins role, and then Keon. We'll see. Like Keon was low key breaking out before he got hurt last year. I've drafted Curtis Samuel. He's not drafted a lot. I've not heard any buzz about him. I don't know how his foot is doing, but yeah, he could be cut or he could smash. Yeah, I like that range of wide receiver a lot too. It's like Keon, Bateman, Rashid Shaheed. I like all those guys. How do you see the Ravens tight ends this year? Is likely going to overtake Andrews? I don't find myself drafting Andrews a lot, but he's a guy who can just run pure on touchdowns every year. Makes sense why. Um, and Likely I find very cheap. I don't think Likely even needs to overtake Andrews. I just love the single week upside of Likely, so I draft him a lot. Why do the Bills have Knox listed as tight end 1 on the depth chart? I mean, that's like a pretty useless data point. That's like an intern doing that. It's probably because he's been on the team longer, you know? He's good friends with Josh Allen's too. Yeah, I mean, obviously Andrews overperformed his touchdowns. Anyone watching football? Wow, did someone just randomly take naked Kyler? Okay. All right, dog. I see you. Kyler would have made sense for us. Let's take Keon. We've been talking about Keon. Let's do him. And I mean, Luther Burden gives us a stack with Kittle as well. Jalen Warren is a guy I like a lot. The quarterbacks, I think we'll just see what's there. I still like Jonnu a lot. I'm not lowering him in my ranks too much. And then I like these guys too. But let's get a running back and go from there. Don't know what this guy's doing. Maybe he's watching. He just doesn't want me to get Kyler with Trey. Maybe he just wants Kyler with T. Who took Joe Burrow? Joe Burrow went naked to agility, who also took a stacked Baker. So got some people just doing stuff. No Purdy. I considered Purdy, obviously, but I don't know. I think Warren's just undervalued. Because I think he's coin flipping with Caleb Johnson. No, I think this is the wrong way to think about it. Usually good teams don't trade away players at the trade deadline. It's, like who would I put like Tua? I mean, Tyreek. He's a guy who you could see move to the trade deadline if things go bad for Miami, right? Alvin Kamara, if things go bad for the Saints, I could see him being sent out, right? These types of players. Bad pod luck. I mean, hey, sometimes this stuff, let's say this team ends up winning Best Ball Mania and it's because of Keon and Warren, and I get a different quarterback that is like key. Sometimes this stuff works in your favor. So, are you doing more 2 or 3 quarterback builds so far? I generally do 2 quarterback more. If you're concerned about advance rates, 3 quarterback is advised more. But yeah, I generally do 2 because my thought there is I think in general, I'm going to identify valuable players to show up in the finals with more often than the average drafter. And quarterbacks, they don't generally separate, right? So it's like I have one quarterback score 10, I have one quarterback score 20, I'm fine, right? Okay, you have 3, your goal is just to get a guy to score 30. But I do 3 quarterback too sometimes. But yeah, generally I like 2. Depends who I have though, obviously. This is definitely a spot I want to be mixing. I think Tyrone Tracy, you could argue, has more upside than Warren because Cam Scatabo is less of a threat than Caleb Johnson. Tyreek could definitely absolutely smash, and that's why I will not be fully fading. Who is the last quarterback you're okay with leading the 2 quarterback room? It's hard to say, DeMar. This question gets asked a lot, but like it's a mix. Like if my first quarterback is Baker, I'd be confident with a lot of quarterbacks as my QB2. Or if my first quarterback is Josh Allen, I'd be confident with any quarterback as my quarterback 2. If I have Caleb And Dak, I'm fine there, right? If I have, let's see, Jared Goff, absolutely no stacks there. Fantastic. I think we're going to get Charbonnet on this team. Pretty fall for him. And I mean, Love might even wrap around. Let's look. Love does just like randomly fall 500 spots. So let's pass on Love. Let's do like Drake May rushing, unstacked, figure it out later, maybe. Let's think about that. I mean, I do like Love personally. Nah, screw it. We'll do Love. It's just these guys, Love like randomly falls like 20 to 30 spots sometimes, and I know that's not happening for May. Yeah, I don't know. We'll do Love. We got the stack. Let's not overthink it. Pretty balanced. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a balanced start, but pretty balanced team so far. Love as our quarterback. Chase, Flowers, Judy, Reed, Coleman as our wide receivers. That feels pretty good. McBride and Kittle, that obviously should be pretty nutted. And then the running backs, some people are going to like it. Some people won't. Chase Brown, obviously how I drafted him. He's being a smash in this scenario. And then Warren and Charbonnet, two guys who are at worst like 1Bs on their team. 3 quarterback propaganda is so overblown. It ruins draft rooms. I don't think it ruins draft rooms, but yeah, I do think people are not thinking critically there. They're just like kind of like reading some charts and some tweets and being like, yes, man. Yeah, 3 quarterbacks. Let's do it. This is quite the run, though. All those quarterbacks go. Of course, man. I'm a teacher. I'm generally good at name pronunciation. Do we think Josh Allen may run less to preserve his career? I mean, yeah, like if you made me bet my life on a quarterback to be quarterback 1, I would choose Jaden Daniels this year. Because there is systemic risk of Josh Allen simply stealing less goal line touchdowns as he gets older. And Lamar was crazily efficient, and his defense is probably going to be better, and Derrick Henry's still there. Jaden Daniels still has like a middling defense. He's got a better offense. It was his rookie year. So, true serum, he's QB1 to me. Did he take naked Goff after naked Kyler? Almost assuredly. Some people literally think stacking is bad. And, bless their hearts. I almost always do 3 quarterback on DraftKings. Yeah, 20 rounds is a lot more defensible. 18 rounds, I generally prefer 2. I think 2 hole on auto. They're not on auto if they're not snap picking. Like if they're ticking down the whole clock, they're not auto drafting. Wow, Bishal Tootin fell a lot in this draft. He generally goes like in the 10th. Apparently. Is Cam Ward a value at the end of the draft? Obviously it depends how good he is, but yeah, I like mixing him in. Naked Goff with Saquon, much rarer than Goff with Amon-Ra. Yeah, you got to play for the Goff 3 rushing touchdowns week 17. I've been doing some sit and goes on Underdog. Is treating it like a total points contest the way to go? I mean, yeah. You want to think through what's the most scarce resource, and you want to hoard that resource. So, like in a sit and go sense, elite wide receivers are scarce. Elite tight ends are scarce. Elite running backs are scarce. Elite quarterbacks are scarce. You almost always want to be buying news dips. Where did Mixon go in this one? Mixon went no slide at all for him. He went pick 51. DraftKings in general will have random slides like that more. Like they're way more reactionary to news. All right. Well, we just got to get a quarterback on the team. Let's do Isaac Rendo anyways. Who can we backstack? Wow, this is terrible. Okay, who do we have any correlation for? Giants. Okay, we have correlation for you. I'm having a brain fart. Whatever. We're doing Bryce Young. Is there a good chance Bryce Young would have whipped back around? Sure. Yes. But I just can't risk like all these guys going. And he is backstackable. I'd like his chances for a year two break, and we do have Charbonnet. So what's good? Would you buy Mixon right now? I mean, if Nixon fell a lot in drafts, I would. Yes. People love to ask this question, and no, Scott, I do not ever purposely like one tight end. I think is like real terrible. One elite quarterback, I think you can do very rarely. I also think it's pretty bad, right? Because it's like just think it through. Like let's say you have Lamar, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, whatever, and let's say they go 30 points week 15, fantastic, 10 points week 16, bad, and then 30 points week 17. But you don't make it there because you did one quarterback, right? And you could have just taken a second one. Like, I think it's just too thin. How many eliminators have you done? We're going to do one after this. I have done 61. I'd like to save some for August. And the coin flip record, which I've only done for streamed ones, is like 4 or 5. Liam is quite literally the sharpest best ball draft in the world, and somehow this team is uber buns. John, this could be you saying that could be great news for this team because a lot of the teams that the public doesn't like last year did pretty well. It doesn't seem great yet, but it's got outs to being really good. In general, you're just not going to like the team on paper when you go double elite tight end. What do you think about the weekly winners contest? Not my favorite one, man. You gotta build the literal nuts to win like 10 grand or whatever. It just seems very hard to win. I don't think the sweat is that great. If you don't do DFS or daily drafts or anything like that, and you want to sweat the actual NFL season that way, then I think it's a good thing. If you want to think through how different it is, I also think it's a good thing. Have you done the golden yet? I meant to do one of those. Man, we didn't even get Adam Thielen, folks. I wasn't willing to bet on Isaac Rendo, a guy I'm like super high on, for the stack. So I don't know. We might be taking our first Jalen Coker share. We might be going Jatavian Sanders. I could do Rico Dowdle and just have a quarterback running back correlation. Michael, given different views, this team is good if you understand structure and spikes. Hunter Renfro, I'm not doing that, Cole. Thoughts on the big dog contest? I drafted one on stream. You can go back and check it out. Man, are people like listening, man? We didn't even get that. All right, so in a vacuum, I prefer Stafford. Wow, Darnold's ADP is crazy late. All right, fine. We'll do Stafford. We need a third quarterback for this team. We don't need it, but I want it. And let's do J.K. Dobbins. Our wide receiver room is like crazy light, but I don't think Dobbins should really be available. I've been very into him the whole summer. And the second he signs, he's going to like massively spike up in cost. So 2 unstacked quarterbacks. Terrible. But we got dreams of fixing that. And really, like, I honestly low-key like Young and Stafford's chances of being uber smashes this year. Just Stafford, this could be like a 50 touchdown season for him or whatever. Bryce Young looked low-key real good at the end of last year. Still can backstack both. Maybe, you know what we're trying to do, folks? We're trying to win the total points portion of Best Ball Mania. Let's remind ourselves what that is. Here it is. We're trying to win the 100K in the regular season with this team. Here's what the community thinks about this. Underdog's having to roll out promotions for the marathon because the fill rate's low. The fill rate went higher after the promotion, I guess. But yeah, I don't think the people want that. Thoughts on Miles Sanders? I've been mixing him in. Could just be the starter there. Where can I find the Week 17 schedule? Dog, you can't Google Week 17 NFL? We got you covered at beatbestball.com. This is free. Here it is. Take a pic. It's pinned in my Discord under Best Ball Resources too. I need to fix one of these. I need to fix one of these highlights. Giants Raiders. This game is in a dome, so it should be highlighted green. I gotta fix that. A man of the people. Mid draft, we help you out. I would listen to some drafter streams / read my article about total points. I wrote an article breaking those down. But I'm going to do some videos on that too. That's a good idea. Is Zach Moss fine? I think Zach Moss is a great click, because he's barely being drafted. Is there risk with him? Absolutely. All right. Our team: Love, Young, Stafford, Chase Brown, Warren, Charbonnet, Grendo, Dobbins, Chase Flowers, Judy, Reed, Coleman, McBride, Kittle. We have 3 picks to try to fix this bad boy. And we're just going to have to go thin somewhere. I think we're going to go thin at wideout. Yeah, I guess we'll do 1 running back and 2 wideouts. So not that thin. Yeah, we need another running back. I don't know. This team could be fine with 5, but I want another one. We'll go 2 wide receivers. Coker and Tutu. If Coker goes or Tutu goes, we can take the other guy. Tutu goes. Fantastic. I mean, these people don't even want these players. They're just drafting them because I want them. See, this guy took Leggett and Tutu. It's fine. Naked Stafford is awesome. Bo Melton. Whose team? What team is he on? It. I thought he was a Packer. Stafford slides all the way. Let's take Jordan Whittington and Jalen Coker. I promise you, to date, I am the only one to draft those two players at the 16-17 turn. They were scared of your start. Honestly, I've yet to draft Jalen Coker, and I've drafted a lot of Keenan Allen, so I'm not mad about being forced to get some of him. He could just be the wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 of that team. Whittington, 2. It's like Whittington is probably the wide receiver 4 on paper, but if Puka or Adams goes down, he's the guy who's going to step into a bigger workload than Tutu. Like Tutu will be on the field more than Whittington, I think, but Whittington benefits from the injury. And low key, our wide receiver room is like kind of deep for punting it off a little bit. You know, Chase, the best wide receiver in football, so that can ease a lot of pains. And then target dominant guy, huge spike guy, year 2 breakout on a good team. I don't know. Got to be rare there. I suggest stopping at 5 backs. I'm going to take the back. I think I need the back more. It's not about flex coverage. It's just about like, I'm going to need some points here. I mean, okay, quarterback feels pretty strong now anytime you have 3. Tight end obviously feels strong. I do feel relatively strong at wide receiver in theory. Obviously, these guys could both be zeros, which is not great. I mean, I don't know. It is close. It is very close between the wide receiver and running back because if this team is working, it's like Chase Brown is hitting the lineup most weeks. And then I really only need one of Warren, Charbonnet, Grendo, or Dobbins to do it. So we'll decide when we're on the clock. Thielen going to get squeezed out? You could definitely see that. Yeah, Wicks makes a lot of sense if he's there. This is why I usually don't say player names, by the way. We'll never know. We'll never know if the draft guy is just drafting players. What do you guys think? Jatavian Sanders, tricks on him. We didn't need a tight end. Miles Sanders or Trevor Etienne? Sanders for me. Savion, man, I just don't think I can build a team with Whittington, Coker, and Savion on it. I don't think a contender would trade for Thielen, but like I hear you. Efton Chisholm, dude. Maybe I'll draft him. I don't know. I'm not giving financial advice, but could work. Are you waiting to evaluate the Saints wide receiver 3 spot? Rhino, I don't think it's that valuable of a spot, man. You got Allen and Chase and Brown and McBride. Yeah. You in Vegas, Pat? I think I'll be making it out in July. So the guys, fun fact, my friend slash, okay, what are we doing here? All right, we'll do Wicks, whatever, man. We'll just have a thin running back room. It's thin. I don't feel great about it. I don't feel great about these guys either, though. We'll get the stack. Why not? I hope that pick went through. But let me show you guys something real quick. Did that pick go through? Let's name this bad boy. $56, 6-9. Nice. Streamed. Do you ever do 6 wide receiver teams if you load up on the position early? Yes. So the founder of Drafters, which is a total point format, is a guy who I met in Vegas, and he just won a bracelet. How do I go to like? He just won a bracelet, so let's pull that up. How do I find who won the events? WSOP results. Google his Hendon Mob. No. Okay, here it is. He won the show all events. We want past events. These are future finished events. Okay, here we go. Zach. And he'd be like a who's who. So Zach Zarrett, founder of Drafters, use promo code Cheslium to get up and running on Drafters or on Underdog. Took down the 1,500 pot limit Omaha high-low 8 or better. That means if you know what Omaha is when you have 4 cards in your hand, high-low 8 or better means you're both playing a high hand, and if the lowest hand 8 and under, so like the nuts is ace deuce 3 4 5, or maybe it's ace deuce 3 4 6. I don't know. I don't remember. Wins, and he beat a who's who like Calvin Anderson. This guy's a beast. Bryce Yaki. This guy's a grinder. So shout out Zach. Good for him taking down a bracelet, man. Talk more about that on Total Points Tuesday. Scott, what's going on here, man? Absolutely no one cares. Right to the action. T. Higgins going ahead of AJ Brown in a lot of leagues. I mean, but I just disagree with you. T. Higgins is not going ahead of AJ Brown. Are you going to stream a drafters draft in Zach's honor? I mean, Neil, do we need to? For the people, you're right, Neil. We were going to do Total Points Tuesday. I was going to do an eliminator. No, all right, we're going to save it. I just really want to do an eliminator. I don't know why. I love the concept of this contest. All my teams are going to be dead week 5 or whatever. Before we do it, let's do the coin flip. Tails. Let's get it. Heads. Okay. Made it to week 2, guys. We made it to week 2. Fun little bit. We're doing 20-second clock. Hope you're doing well, Neil. Haven't done a single drafters draft this year. Neil, that's a mistake, my friend. You got to get in there early. Promo code Cheslium, folks, if you're not up and running on drafters. Those eliminators sweats in October and November will be so much fun. I mean, again, let's just run through this. Okay, you make the money week 4. So I love this contest. I love the head-to-head. Head-to-head adds more variance. Some people don't like that, right? The bigger the pod, the less variance. Head-to-head pod, like you could score 150 points and someone scores 190. Peace. See you later. But, so 150 teams you start with, right? Okay, after week 2, on average, you'll have 75. This is assuming you max, obviously. after week 1. So going into week 2, you have 75. Going into week 3, you have 37.5. Going into week 4, you have 18 and 3/4. Going into week 5, you have 9 teams. Going into week 6, you have 5 teams. Going into week 7, you got 2 teams. Going into week 8, you got 1 team. Going into week 9, we'll round up, you got a team. Going into week 10, you are eliminated. Let's do Gibbs. Like the running back freaks are all over this place. So I actually mixed that spot, Jefferson. Neil said I actually preferred larger pods. I didn't play at all with the larger pods. I just love the head-to-head aspect of it. I think it's so much fun, right? Like imagine one of you guys out there matches up with me week 8. Like we both have a team. Like we have a heck of a sweat then. You better bet as long as I have teams, we're going to be checking them every Wednesday, right? Like Neil, I know you make content. You got to get some eliminators to sweat with the stream. Like it's just so clean what the community could root for, or like someone on Twitter can be like, you're going down, Chesley, you know? Dang, the whole field going to be eliminated around 10. Well, on average, everyone listening, yes, we will be out. I don't think Jesse Morse is someone that you want to be following for fantasy advice. Just my opinion. So we got Gibbs. And to my point, JT goes at the 109. Uniqueness is not as valuable in the eliminator. It's a head-to-head tournament, you know? So having a unique combo, really not that valuable. It's unlikely you're going to be facing your own first-round pick. So this guy just said, I want JT's the best pick. Do you like 2 quarterback and 2 tight end in the same draft? Ian, I'm going to need you to explain that a little bit more, what you're asking. Are you asking the 2 tight ends are stacked with the 2 quarterbacks? Then yes, I think that's good. An example is Lamar and Mark Andrews and Josh and Kincaid. Yep, so Benny Jet, those freaks are out, man. They're hungry for the running backs. Man, Brian Thomas at the 18th. Like just 2 of each rostered. In general, my base eliminator ranks is 3, 6, 7, 2. Man, this is a sick drop for Brock Bowers. We're gonna break our ranks and go to Bowers here. Why not? Pick 21. Why not, folks? Amon-Ra, pick 17. Brian Thomas, pick 18. Drake London, pick 19. Crazy. People gonna complain so much in the eliminator when they score well and lose. Oh yes, 100% they are. The crying is going to be insane. Just wait for someone to tie and lose on a tie break. That's happening. That is happening, folks. Can you imagine? We'll look up the tie break rules. Double elite tight end? No, definitely not for this. All right, Tyreek. You don't even need him to hold up the whole season, you know? Drafts. Eliminator. I did read the rules, and you will not be paired with yourself until they can avoid it. So you won't face, I won't face any of my teams week 2. Okay, we're looking for the word tie. Ties. It will be broken by whichever team has the highest scoring player in that round. So if you have a player that scores 50 and the other guy has a player that scores 45 and you tied, you would win. If you have the same highest scoring player then it would go to the second highest scoring player. So basically, it will always be sorted by highest scoring player because you're not going to have it. If, though, it somehow was a totally dupe roster, the entrant that entered the contest first will advance, which would melt someone's brain. They would be so mad that someone drafted in June, the same team that they drafted in August. They wouldn't understand. They didn't read the rules. They just want to shout at people. Imagine getting a heads up with yourself at the end. Yeah, I don't think it changes the EV at all, but like it's almost like preferable, right? Like, let's pretend you have multiple teams left week 13. Wouldn't you want to just secure a team to make it to the next week versus having 2 shots, but maybe you could also go 0 for 2? I know the EV money wise is the same anyways, but like, I don't know, just like logically one feels better. What would feel sick though is if your worst team bounces your better team. Like like your other team would have ended up making the finals, the other one doesn't. Tyreek Jameer Bowers is very nice. Yeah, I would take this in Best Ball Mania, and we also like it in this. I always think this is Ron Stewart. I know it's not. I know he's in chat. You can't be set up against yourself. You cannot be paired with yourself until you have more teams than pods are left. So basically, no one is going to face themselves in this contest. It's just so mathematically unlikely. Matt, brother, you're great too. Look, I mean, look at this. You got like blue eyes. You're looking good, dude. But yeah, I mean, I can show you, but it's just almost impossible for you to face yourself. You just have to run like hotter than the sun. Just the contest is just over after week 12 because I have 150 teams left, all facing each other. Yeah, let's do Chuba because I like all these wide receivers, but I just have a feeling that this room is going to give me some of them. Like, this dude cannot help himself. He's going to end up with like 17 running backs. He's going in. If you're ever facing yourself, that's a good problem to have, yes. Unless you're on the FFPC, they will just organically have you face yourself when you don't need to. Which that's not as a good a problem, right? Like, that's just their software being unable to avoid that or whatever. I really wanted Worthy to make it back to me. I think that's a fun pairing. I should have just taken Worthy, but I like Chuba a lot. This guy's not afraid of Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon ain't falling here. Neither is James Cook. Wow, sick choice here. We'll go. I was gonna do Smith. He's a brand guy, but come on now. I'm gonna update my eliminator rankings by Wednesday as well. My first run of the eliminator rankings, I just kind of like kept it pretty base with the ADP, other than some spots. But like Sutton, Hunter's got to go up. Like, anyone taking Sutton over Hunter, better luck next year. Well, I mean, clearly Mixon did not drop, man. He went pick 43 here. Our other draft, he went pick 51. Vadim is jealous of Ron's mom. I would be too, man. Getting Hot Pockets and Diet Coke. Definitely not, dude. Boo. Hunter feels like the ideal eliminator pick. Possible wide receiver 1 going in the 5th, not the 4th. Sure, there's risk, but you draft to win. Yeah, I mean, the reason why he's going later is he's a rookie and the corner stuff. Feel like Hunter is going to be a 3rd rounder by August. I hope so. Thank you for watching. Just helping out. Just helping out here. Let's do Debo, man. Debo is in the class of players like Tyreek, like CMC, where the upside is absolutely sky high, but they're risky. The Howard Dean Biaw is definitely the best, but not everyone likes it, but the people that get it, it slaps for. Yeah, man. I could I might bump Debo in the rankings. He's got really bad downside, but the upside is. Whew. Are we doing the double tight end thing? No, we're not. Let's do Ricky Pearsall this time. I don't get him as much. I have 2 anchor running backs. The week 14 bye is very nice. I've not been paying attention to the buys. Swift is a great pick in this. I don't think Terry, I don't think this is a fair category of what happened. Like, Terry wants to get paid, I mean, Dave Chappelle made some funny content around it, but no, man. That Howard Dean thing was everywhere. That was on the Daily Shows, on everything. Worst click on the board is Achane? Absolutely not. Achane is a great click. Best click, Rashee Rice? That one I could see. I agree with that somewhat. People are too young to even know who Howard Dean is. That if you in chat don't know who Howard Dean is, just give me just notify yourself. I'm just curious because I believe that. We appreciate you, Connor. Look up the Howard Dean speech, man. Thank you, Ian. There are thousands of them. Let's get a poll going, folks. That's so funny that I've been saying, do you know who Howard Dean is? All right. I don't know. Goal poll. Start a poll. Do you know who Howard Dean is? The YouTube algorithm has got to be like, what is this guy doing? He does politics. He does 2000, the year 2000 politics. Yeah, I mean, quarterbacks are valuable in this. Unstacked Mahomes doesn't bother me at all. Tough break for the worthy drafter. Where is he? And the Rice drafter. To be fair, Howard, I was a kid when the Howard Dean thing happened. And most people my age probably weren't that into, my mom likes politics a lot. So I followed that election pretty close, staying up, coloring the map. Oh my God, Neil. Call him up right now, man. Let's get you on stream and call him up. Had a teammate in college who was working on Howard Dean's campaign when the scream catastrophe happened. What was his reaction? What are we doing here? The answer is always Rashid Shaheed. Naked Mahomes, fine. Take back the White House. Byaw! Let's see. The no's are 43%. Dude, Jay, quit crying, brother. Quit crying. This is an eliminator. Correct, Who Hames. He really lost because of that? I mean, in present day politics, it seems insane with what can be said. But yes, like that was a huge tanking of his. Like he was like maybe gonna lose anyways. It was between like him and John Kerry. But no, that like finished him. He didn't immediately understand. Who could, man? Who could? Like, did you do the coin flips? I did. We got 2 coin flips right. Evolving, dude. Evolving. Yeah, man, it's true. He would have had my vote. I mean, yeah, right? Like, God forbid you show some energy. So our team so far, Mahomes, Gibbs and Chuba, Tyreek, Hunter, Debo, Pearsall, Shaheed, and Bowers. It's very key that you just get like matching jerseys, kind of like 2 blues, 2, you know, lighter blues. This is a pretty crazy steal on Jaden Higgins. Although for months they went, him and Trey Harris went here. 2 reds, another red. Jaden Higgins' photo is so bright. Yeah, I'm not fully set up to be fair, man, but it's better than what my setup was, okay? I think we should grab a quarterback here. I mean, Trevor's the stack. So I was about to do Naked Herbert, but we'll do Trevor because we have Hunter. I would have taken Charbonnet, but he was gone. Bowers worthy of the 101 in the FFPC. I did a FFPC main event and I got him at the 108. So I'm going to do a breakdown of that team. Nice blank wall though. Thank you, man. I got a bookshelf over there. You guys can't see it. Maybe I'll put it behind me. Do the standard bookshelf thing. Are you ever stacking Kyron with your Puka? I've been a huge Kyron guy. I've not gotten a lot so far. I want to get some more. But yeah, that's a fine stack to me. Tell us how you really feel, Jay. I don't know. I'm a Trevor believer. So let's see. Pretty decent bye week spreads at our wideouts, just 2 12s. Only 1 rookie, 2 rookies. A little thin at running back. We only have 2, but they should be touch dominant guys who catch passes. So it's a good 2. 2 good quarterbacks. Undecided if I'll go 3 QB or just 2. And then an elite tight end. Hey, man, the night crowd's a different crowd. I'm here for it. All right, guys, chill on the politics, though. We don't need that. Devontae and Puka, totally, man. That's a great stack. It's not something you should do every time, but yeah, that's totally okay to mix in. Gene T and Bowers, I would do that low sometimes too. Anyways, can you do a DK draft? I reached out to DK. We'll see if we can work something out, but I'll be doing some in the future. This is probably my last draft for the night. Like the stream chat. Wow, some crazy values on the tight end. Let's do Loveland. The guy who smashed last year and then the guy who was drafted higher than him the year after seems like a good two tight ends to have. I talked about this at the start, but Curtis says, got a bunch of late round Nick Chubb drafts before his ADP raises a ton. Curtis, I don't think he's going to raise that much. It's going to go from like 213 to maybe 170, maybe 189. You think Dobbins signs with the Broncos? I think he's going to sign somewhere. It's tough to pass on these running backs, but Tua with Tyreek is also so correlated. I don't know. I just love Isaac Grendo, man. I went into that turn planning to go Tua, but like these are the last running backs of a tier, and then it's a wasteland. So we did Grendo. Team so far: Mahomes and Trevor, Gibbs, Chuba, Grendo, Tyreek, Hunter, Debo, Pearsall, Shaheed, Higgins, Bowers, Loveland. This is what I've been doing with J.K. Dobbins. Is like I've been packing my J.K. Dobbins bag so that when he does sign and go up a lot, I can be like, "Go on, my wayward son. I don't need to draft you anymore." Because he will go way up in price. Unlike Chubb, Dobbins was good enough last year. The Chubb signing could be similar to the Cowboys signing Dalvin or the Jets too, man. Yeah. Isn't this the guy who was saying like if you vote a certain way it's treason? Like what a rich comment to make. It's crazy. Not being able to cordially discuss politics. If you vote this way it's treason. It's crazy disconnect. Okay, Tua goes. I think we might as well go to third quarterback. A value on Gito. Like if you've never done an eliminator, there are many drafts where quarterback flies off the shelf and running back. So I'm just gonna have to go like a thinner quantity at wide receiver because I need to get some running backs in here. Our quarterback room is very strong. Two of them are stacked, Trevor and Gino. Mahomes out there. And the nice thing about Mahomes is, yes, it could be a resurgent season. And also it could be like Worthy having a huge game. Rice having a good game. Kelsey having a game. Pacheco having a game. Whatever. Yeah, Stroud hasn't been throwing. I'm not that worried about it, but Like that, I wouldn't. The ESPN crowd, they're just trying to get engagement at this time of the year, you know? It's a really funny question from someone. I think we're gonna go one more wide receiver. Now we'll do Justice Hill. We need we need a running back who can just hit the lineup, and Justice Hill fits that bill. You ever get into Hearthstone? I like games like that. I played it like once or twice, but no, never too deep. This is a really funny comment. Free that guy. I forget his name now. Has beer pong blown up this year? Just kidding. He meant best ball. Has best ball popularity blown up this year as opposed to 2024? I think we have 240 people watching right now on a random Monday in June. So I think it's getting pretty big. I think DK's putting a lot of resources into making best ball popular on their end too. They have a big channel. Underdog is blowing up. They got commercials and whatnot. So yeah, I think every year best ball is going to get bigger, which is great. Like we are so early, folks. We are so like some of the folks who you think are drafting crazy, you ain't seen nothing yet. You just wait until this thing is way bigger. Big fan of the night streams. We'll be doing a lot of those. Do you tilt when playing chess? Definitely can happen. I try not to tilt in general. It's morely like it's like self tilt where it's like I move too quick. Like I didn't like spend enough time in thinking, or like I beat myself or something. The playoff best ball, I don't like it quite as much. But yeah, it's fun. We take what we can get. Beer ball sounds fun. It does, man. I'm still a Marshawn Lloyd guy. I think people got spooked because he was like in the training tent or something like that, but that doesn't bother me. Playoff basketball can be quite tilting. Yeah, you're sometimes just forced to build. Like there's so many people just don't know what they're doing, and it really can tank everyone. All right, let me calibrate my buys. Running back, fine enough, 214s. Quarterback, obviously we're done. Tight end, we're done. All right, so we're gonna add a wide receiver, and then maybe we're gonna do 2 wide receivers. It's a thin running back room to roll with 5, but I think I have to. All right, well, let's do Keenan. That kind of helps. Correlate your olds. Keenan and Dobbins. We don't have Dobbins on this team. We got him before. Where did he go? Went inside of me. So this contest is a straight head-to-head each week to advance. In week 1, it's a 12-person pod. 6 of the teams advance. 6 of the teams are eliminated. From there, it's straight head-to-head unless you are lucky enough to make week 17, in which case it's a 3-person final. I've never heard of Gwent that people are talking about. The Howard Dean poll, we're going to end. The yeses take it. What number would be too many slow drafts to register at one time? I live in a state where underdog is not allowed. Kevin, man, that's a personal question. You got to ask yourself, like I don't think 100 or 200 is a crazy number, but are you okay? Like, do you have the time a couple times during the day to, go do all that? Do you want to do all that? I don't like slows because I don't like feeling like I'm on the clock all the time. I like Starting a draft, ending a draft, and being done. I do slows when I have to. I don't like it too much. Other people like to do a couple slows and spend so much time thinking about what they're going to do. Legal to enter a legal state, enter drafts, and then go to your home state and draft them. All right, what are we going to do here? Hunt would have made a lot of sense for us. I'm just going to put Moss in the queue. I don't know. All these picks are fine. We're going heavier at running back. It's a little thin at wide receiver. Tyreek, Hunter, Debo, Pearsall, Shaheed, Higgins, Keenan. Is it my favorite team ever? No. I wasn't planning to go 3 quarterback, but the Geno slide to correlate with Bowers I couldn't pass. So I don't know. Need Keenan to be a good pick. Need Shaheed, Higgins, Pearsall, Debo, Hunter, Tyreek. You know, if Tyreek is just like Tyreek, it does a lot of problem solving. Gibbs and Chuba got to hit the lineup a lot. Got to get something from these guys. Quarterback feels great. Tight end feels great. So we'll name this bad boy. Appreciate you folks tuning in. Let's name this 6-9. Nice. Streamed. I'll be live more this week. Davis and I think, are going to do something on Wednesday, maybe at 3 p.m. Eastern. Should be fine. And going to have updated rankings and strategy articles on beatbestball.com. It is $100 for the year. Peace out, folks. Enjoy your night.